God damn it, Miranda! Why do you have to do
Not yet.
that?
Grab a bottle of water.
So yeah, if you'll just confirm that we have that we're up. I think we are. I'm just not sure. Okay.
I'm waiting to see something on Substack. Or
Well, yeah, I've got the link. We've already got 4 people.
That's not even showing up for me. Let me check the other places. YouTube's live. Restream's live. Or not Restream. Stream Place.
Okay, cool. Here, I'll drop the in case you can't find it. There's the Substack link for the chat. Today's life growth, life survival. I'm just going to go right into it because this morning when I was writing the daily digest, I was trying to decide if I was going to publish the picture of Jesus, Ochoa, and Raimundo Gutierrez, who were the 2 people that killed Alex Preddy.
Right.
And so, like ProPublica, I said, fuck it. I will post their pictures. And in the caption, I even said, if you see these 2 people, run away, run very far away, because they're going to kill you. And so I was thinking about that at 3 a.m, which is usually when I write the daily update. And the thing that sort of came to my head was, how do we grow past this? How do we move forward away from it? And then how do we build infrastructure around keeping it from fucking happening? And so I went into one of my large library of queer texts and picked out some relevant discussions about those items. So with that, I'll just go right into it. Anais Nin. If you don't know who that is, Google that person and read stuff that they've expressed, because trust me, you want to. We do not grow absolutely chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and then not in another, or unevenly. We grow partially because we are relative. So the takeaway from this is growth isn't linear.
Right.
And neither is survival. It really isn't. Some days you're advocating for one person, other days you're advocating for a group of people in City Hall. Some days, and I've done this, you're crying in your fucking car before you go to work. Some days you're doing both in the same hour. That's what it means to live through the kind of historical pressure that we're all living through right now. And we expand where we can, we contract where we have to. We're not going to contract back into the closet. We're not to contract back into a container that they want us to live in.
I hate that.
And we're never going to fucking apologize for the shape that we take up. I'm not going to do that. None of you are going to do that. I don't believe that. And by doing that, that's the thing that keeps us living. So then I think about that, and when I ask myself, where am I in my life? Where am I pushing myself for growing unevenly? And so I noticed that I hold contempt for my own asymmetry at times. Over the weekend, we took the kids home, and on the way back from taking the kids, I was like, look, my hair is a disaster and I need to do something about it. And so I asked asked my partner, I'm like, I know we're in your old neck of the woods. How bad of a transphobic place is this location going to be? Because I literally want to go into Great Clips and just say, shave every ounce of hair off my head, which is what they did. And she was like, well, I mean, flip a coin. And I'm like, I have to have my own agency.
Right.
So, my emotional intelligence over the last little while has been outpaced by my own ability to set boundaries. So that's my growth problem. And so with that, we're going to pick on somebody. So the question, I can pose the first question to you, or you can take a shot at the second question.
Are we picking on me?
Yes. You're at the top, so you're going to get it first.
Okay. I'm flexible.
All right. Well, then we'll start with it. What growth in your life do you think you are mistaking for regression?
Ooh. I haven't considered myself regressing much, so I might be very in touch with myself.
Why do you feel in touch with yourself?
Well, you asked what growth I feel might be regression instead of growth. And I really haven't been worrying much about regression, so maybe there's something I'm missing. I have noticed that my give a fuck is mostly gone. I've read, though, that is typical for synaptic pruning after menopause. So I really don't miss my give a fuck much. I'm kind of happy not to have it anymore. That's been like my biggest change is noticing my give a fuck is gone. I don't care what people think anymore. It's like, fuck you. If you don't like it, go away. So that's been the biggest thing I've noticed lately is my
that's
lack of give a fuck.
that's a good answer.
You don't like it, go away.
That's a good question. A good answer to the question. So now we're gonna ask Sarah. So Sarah, you get the first question. Where in your life are you punishing yourself for growing unevenly? That's the sign of you know exactly what it is.
That's the thing. I don't, because like if I'm punishing myself, I am not actively aware that that's specifically what I'm doing.
Why not?
Because nothing that I'm thinking of strikes me as me punishing myself.
Are you mistaking any of that growth for regression?
It's plausible.
What makes that plausible?
That there's a lot that I haven't uncovered yet, and hindsight's 2020.
Shoulda, coulda, and woulda.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times I won't realize something until it's already done and over with. Although I'm getting a little better about that.
You're getting a little better about that.
Yeah.
I told my son the other day that regret is a heavy burden you don't have to carry. You can look backwards and say, I should have made this decision, but you don't know what would have happened as a result of that decision. You don't know you'd actually be in any better place than you are now if you'd made that other decision. You know you'd be in a different place, but you don't know where that would be and if it would actually be an improvement. So being upset about the decision you didn't make is just a waste of your emotional energy. Instead, you evaluate where you are and you move forward from there. That's the best you can do.
I hilariously tell myself that I have no regrets. Not
Yeah,
even one
yeah.
letter. Not even one letter. Um, okay, Miranda. Um, if
Okay,
your
wait, do
growth
you,
were a physical shape, what would that look like?
Your
if my
physical
growth were a physical shape,
Yes. Love your nail color, by the way.
thank you. Um,
If you say amorphous blob, I'm gonna call bullshit.
oh no, I was I was gonna tell you an alpine lake.
An alpine lake.
That's even
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh, okay. That's actually kind of why.
Why? Because uh, the shape of my growth, like on top, it um, and like what's visible to people would be, um, depending on the time of the year, the water, the ice, and it's pristine and it's surrounded by beauty. Um, but the shape underneath is um, it's water, so it's not bound by any sort of actual shape, um, and so that means that it can um, grow in unexpected ways, hopefully.
I would like to think maybe that euphemism describes scaling horizontally versus vertically. From a psychological perspective, moving outwardly horizontally is a much more comfortable place to be in.
Mm.
Um, and so you raised this point, and so now I have to comment on it. And so I knew a sister, trans sister, who did everything in 18 months.
Wow.
And that's way too fast to get everything done. It really is.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's scaling vertically.
Mm.
And the disappointment for her is that when she scaled all the way vertically, I mean, if you see this person, she's extremely beautiful. Um, she's extremely attractive. You know, um, she would give Christy Brinkley in her prime a run for her money.
Oh, wow.
And the reality is, she's like, I got here so fast that I'm now uncomfortable in my own skin
Mm.
because I didn't have time to adjust.
That's too
Hmm.
bad.
Yeah, something I've thought about with my transition is that um, you have all these different decisions to make. It's not just um, you know, or like a lot of people think of it as like you go and get a sex change and that's that's the thing, right? But we all know that like hormones are part of it. Some people have breast augmentation. Some people have facial feminization surgery. Some people have tracheal shave or some other type of um, throat and voice surgery. Um, some people even do like body curving stuff. Um, you know, what like the list is endless as far as what um, medical science can do. Um, but I wanted to like really hold off on surgical interventions until I gave my hormones a couple years to work
Mm.
because, you know, hormones, they grow boobs. That's great. Um, they like change facial structures. They redistribute fat throughout your body. Um, they even make skeletal changes by changing the like um, thickness of the connective tissues and stuff. And so I didn't want to rush into like, oh, I'm not happy with my face. I need to go get my brow bone
Mm.
shaved and this and that and whatever. Um, I wanted to give the natural process time to do what it's going to do before I even thought about those decisions. Um, and now I'm at a point where it's like I have um, plumper cheeks and like a rounder face shape. So why would I want to go get FFS? Like, maybe my face still has some shape to it that some people would read as male. Um, but I'm not transitioning for them. I'm transitioning for me. I'm the one who has to look in the mirror. So if, and like when I look in the mirror, I see resemblance to my mom and to my sister. So why would I want to take that away?
Right. That's
And some
good.
people are going to make a different decision on that, and that's
Right.
fine. Like um, Onyx recently had her FFS, and that was something that um, is very affirming for her, and I'm so happy for her. Um, but it's one of those things that like wasn't needed for me, and I think giving yourself time to really think about it and not just like, oh, these are the options, let's go do them all.
Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that utterly and wholeheartedly. Oh, so do you want the physical shape question, the regression question, or the punishing yourself question?
Oh, I mean, let's just do all three. I don't know. Well, I did want to kind of respond to a couple of things.
Please.
One of the things that Sarah said about not being able to see when she's punishing herself, I can kind of relate to that because I think sometimes we are so used to punishing ourselves that we don't see it anymore.
Mm.
We don't maybe not even see it as punishment because we've grown to live with it. Possibly. Not saying that's what you're
The human body
what you're
has
doing.
the human body has an interesting paradigm, and that's the human body has the ability to adjust to any stimuli.
Mm.
There's a
Yeah.
smell that you deal with every day. Eventually, you won't smell it because your
Yeah.
body just acclimates to that. And so,
Right.
emotional bandwidth, like whether I punish myself or not, or whether I'm self-aware that I'm moving backwards instead of forwards, it's easy to fall into those patterns and just not be aware of it because I'm so used to doing it. For me personally, do you guys feel that way? Old habits.
Yeah. I have to worry when I'm dieting because I have this habit of falling into very self-punitive modes with it
Right.
and a lot of self-loathing because
Right.
I've been my weight has been pointed out to me more than once in my life.
See, from my perspective, so another analysis of my perspective and not being aware, consciously aware, my abuse history. I wasn't really until my mid to late 20s when I realized all of the beatings that I took when I was a kid
Mm-hmm.
were abnormal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that's what a parent did to their child.
Yeah. I understand that one.
And so that's a very difficult emotion to reconcile when you fall into that pattern. So, which that leads right into the next topic. So,
Oh, I wasn't done.
oh, you weren't done. Oh shit. Okay. No, more. I want more. We want more Brandon.
I
So,
love Brandon. He's cute.
Well, I also wanted to. I related to Miranda's visualization of the growth as a lake, because I can see that as like a large lake. If it rises an inch, that may be almost imperceptible. You mean, but that's for a large lake. That's a lot of water. That's
True.
actually a large amount of growth that you may not really realize or acknowledge,
right.
and you may look back later and see how much you've grown, but at the time it's very gradual and almost unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When Miranda said lake, I thought about the fact that the top of the lake can seem very still and unchanging, but there can be a lot going on underneath the surface of that lake. And people can assume that there isn't change happening because they aren't seeing it, because they're looking at the large picture so much they don't see the smaller parts of it. I thought it was a very poetic way to describe yourself being.
Okay, now you can take me down.
I'm gonna take you down.
Ooh.
I would never do that. Of course, I would also be the worm. I would also be the person to suggest the reverse, but that's a different story. So that leads into the second topic, moving forward. And so I say this with certainty. Life is not measured by the number of breaths that we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Maya Angelou. I love quoting Maya Angelou because the paradigms between civil rights and queer rights and trans rights are all so blended together that the things that people were saying 40 years ago become true now for ourselves in this own condition. And so what I say to that is forward motion doesn't require perfection. Today, I might pull an Eileen and call my senator and go, don't vote for that shit. But on the other side, I might just get through whatever it is that I'm working on without completely breaking. And there are days where I've gone halfway through my workday and fallen completely apart, and I can't deal with it. But the facts of the matter is that's still forward movement, and it's hard work. Mm-hmm. It's really long and it's hard. From a trans perspective, as much as from a gay perspective, as much as from any life iteratively changing event that a person goes through. You know, and to Miranda's point about the shape that we take or the things that we do, none of us is obligated to finish whatever that is in one day. But here's the important fact, and I want everybody to understand this. You're not obligated to finish it in a day, but you're not free to abandon it. And that's hard.
Right.
You pick it, you do it, you rest. That's the instruction manual for all of this shit. Whenever anyone asks me, Wendy, what do I do? How do I become a trans? How do I fill the mold of a trans woman? And I just look at them and say, whatever the fuck it is that you feel is what you need. That's how you do it. There's no wrong way to be a trans person. Now, there are these conservative fuckheads that think that we all have to look like Barbie and we have to not associate in groups and all this other bullshit. But I often ask myself, what is the smallest possible thing that I can use to move forward that I can manage today? And so to that point, I say, strip it down to bone, not be a better activist or not make a phone call or, maybe it's an open tab or something that I'm supposed to read. Maybe I'm supposed to write one sentence or I'm supposed to do extra chores around the house. That's still forward movement. Look at glaciers. A glacier's progress is measured, I shit you not, in millimeters because they move forward over hundreds of thousands of millions of years. So fine. That's all. I'm only going to move forward this much today. I might move forward this much a week from now. But I have to be as happy about that movement as I am about I moved this far today, and that was it. Because that was all I could do. And here's the thing. Those people, dickhead Trump and the government and all the people against us, they're counting on our exhaustion. They want us to do this shit every day so that we get burned out doing it. And I would rather spite those fuckwads with my stubborn microscopic movement than I would my leaps and bounds movement. So that's my answer to my own question. So
don't give up.
So we're gonna start in reverse order now. So Brandon, I'm going to ask you a hard question for this.
Oh, no.
There were easy questions?
Yeah, there were easy questions.
You skipped those, didn't you?
No. I just trust me, okay? What are you carrying that isn't yours to carry?
Well, it depends on the day. This morning, I really didn't even want to get out of bed. I didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't want to work on any projects or write anything or whatever. And And there are some days that I can't carry anything from anyone else belonging to anyone else because I can't even carry my own stuff. But there are some days that I do carry other people's problems, and I kind of enjoy that. I would rather focus on someone else's problems and help other people with theirs rather than my own, because in some ways it makes me feel better if I can help someone else, if I can build someone else up in some way. That does help build me up as well. But if I take on too much of their problems, that will do the opposite. It will affect me too much. If I take too much, take in too much of the news right now, and watch too many live streams about what's going on in Minneapolis or other places, it's too much. I get bogged down, overwhelmed by that. And I can't do a whole lot about it right now, you know? I don't feel like I can. And so I have to moderate what I take in, what I take on, whose problems I take on, and how much of them I take on.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are completely normal. I think those are completely normal
Yeah.
situations. I'm very much the same way. I have a very maternal instinct. And so from my perspective, it's much easier to help people than it is to help myself. And I don't help myself near enough. Near enough. So you get to talk for a few minutes because I have to step away.
Oh,
And so you get the hard question, Miranda. Well, I may give the hard question to Lisa too, but we'll just say that. So Sarah, if I'm not back, then you move Lisa up after Miranda, and you get to ask the question I'm going to ask Miranda right now. And the question is, where is forward actually located for you right now in this very moment? And I'll be right back.
Where is forward located?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That is a hard one. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I'm glad I didn't get it first.
Let's see. So yesterday on Threads, I posted a long multi-part thread about how in ex-evangelical circles, so ex-evangelicals,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of people who talk about religious trauma in the past tense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, whenever I was in the evangelical machine, these things happened to me. And then I got out, and now I can address those things that happened in the past. And I don't think that anyone who like puts it in those past tense terms is saying that they don't still experience religious trauma because, we see what evangelical Christians are doing to all of society.
Hmm.
Um, but whenever, if you are a cis het white person who has left the church, a lot of your trauma is going to be past tense.
Hmm.
And so I wrote about how, because I'm a trans woman, the church continues to traumatize me. So, they lie about queer people all the time. They are my top source of um, harassment and threats. Their threats are more vulgar and detailed than anybody else's threats.
Hmm.
Um, and so thinking about like what forward progress is, versus like posting about that last night, which is like the I can't just set aside the past because the past has come with me to the present and it's
Right.
here for the foreseeable future. Um, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of tension there in like trying to figure out what forward means uh, for me. Um,
I think the evangelicals are more of the problem than you are. I don't know how we'll fix them.
There's no way to fix evangelicals, as Miranda and I know very well. Um,
They feel justified in hating people.
yeah. Hey, Sarah, did you get Keeper of the Bees taken care of?
we got a nice comment on YouTube about how we should be
No,
traumatized and
Traumatized
bullied
and
for being
bullied.
queer.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't even see it.
lovely.
Oh, freak show. Oh, that's cute.
Wow. You brought all of this upon yourself. Freak show is freak show. Oh, somebody handle my lightweight for me, please. Was that your answer to the question, Marina? I could hear
Oh,
you.
that's on Twitch.
Yeah,
No, it's not. Where is that?
No, it's on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's on the boob tube. So now, Lisa, you get to answer the question.
What looks like forward to me
Yeah, what looks like forward for you today, right now?
today? It is roommate out of the house and son in, and working with son on how to say no to himself better about some things. In fact, that's like all of my focus right now because it's going to be major life changes to have him, an autistic 6-year-old, and his partner all here 24 hours a day. Forward is getting to the point where we have this all ironed out and aren't going to kill each other over any of it. That's kind of my goals. The way the system is right now, it's so hard for young people to get started, and you end up marrying your mother. She's probably a closer match than the first wife was. She's got physical health issues, and so life is too expensive for them. And so I'm taking care of that now. On the interpersonal relationship thing, I've kind of decided I'm just not going to get too crazy either direction and wait and see what happens. In the meantime, every time I get a chance, I'm arguing with people who want to be jerks about whether or not I have a lifestyle choice versus wired that way. Would you rather be married to a woman who absolutely does not find you attractive and just does whatever it takes to get you to leave her alone? Because that's what you're insisting on if you shove every lesbian back in the closet and insist they only marry men. Do you want to be
So
one of those men?
So I should point this out. I dropped this in the daily post for today,
I read today's post.
and the UCLA theatrical school has preserved a bunch of old theatrical fiction and nonfiction works.
cool.
One of those is the 5 minutes short called Lesbians from 1986.
Oh, nice.
And that video is hugely transformative if you watch it, because
Okay.
literally there's 3 lesbians and they're talking about the lesbian dynamic, and the one girl says, well, I've had relationships with men that I was not attracted to because I'm not attracted to men. I'm attracted to women.
Right.
And so, and we're gonna pick on the other one. We're gonna pick on the other one while we do this. But that video, watching that, shows you the perspective of a queer person from 1986,
Mm.
and that perspective is very unique and very classic. All right, so Sarah, what are you carrying, or what does forward look like for you today?
I want to start with kind of echoing what you were saying about the smallest possible thing that can be moved forward or used to move you forward. It was something I came across a while back that says that anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, which sounds counterintuitive, but
No, I like it.
if the only thing that you can bring yourself to do is go and throw a little bit of mouthwash in your mouth instead of being able to get up and brush your hair, take a shower, brush your teeth, all the things that they say we're supposed to do to take care of ourselves. If that is the only thing you can get up and do it.
Right.
That is what you were able to do to get through the day, to get your day started, whatever. And give yourself the grace to do that. If that's all you can handle.
Right. Learning to be gracious with yourself is about the hardest lesson there is.
Yes.
You can beat yourself up all day.
And so over the weekend, there was a lot of things that I did, but I know better than to think that I can handle doing that level of anything all the time. So today I will get by on leftovers, and I will get through my 8 hours of work day and maybe do a little writing. And that's probably going to be the movement forward for me for today.
There's nothing wrong with that. There really
Right.
isn't.
That sounds like a lot of movement, to be honest.
No, I don't think that that's I don't think that that's certainly not problematic from my perspective. So the culmination of those two survival guidances from the digest led me to Gwendolyn Brooks. And if you don't know who Gwendolyn Brooks is, Google her and read shit that she wrote and talked about, because it's transformative. And that is this, and I say this to each one of you in this live as much as I say this to anybody that's watching. And that statement is this: we are each other's harvest. We are each other's business, and we are each other's magnitude and bond between each other. And so what does that say? That says that we're the infrastructure now. When the federal government fucks with us, when they do shit to the earth to try to destroy it because they don't give a shit about climate change, or they send masked agents into American cities and it deports people who are going to die, we become the record. We become the memory. And as a druid, my job is to tell, one of my primary roles as a druid is to tell stories and tell stories about the past, oral traditions. We become the network that catches people when the state decides to fuck off and kick them to the curb. And it sounds very druidic-like in nature, but those are roots that you water.
Hmm.
Call someone that you haven't called in a long time.
Right.
You know, there's somebody who's tired in their life, check in with them and ask them if they're okay. We don't need permission to love each other, you know, fiercely in public, any more than we need permission to defend each other. We just need the nerve. And so with that, I say, go and do that thing. And so,
Go and take care of each other.
so I will cop to reaching out to someone that I hadn't reached out to in a long time. And that actually happened yesterday. And so the story behind it is this. And so I'm going to share this story. His name is Christopher. And Christopher and I were friends in college. And much after that, well, there was a point in his life where he went down the wrong path, went down the right, far right path. And this is a person who basically had gone so far right down that path that when Halloween comes around, they put the candy out on their front porch with a little note that says, "Don't ring the bell, because what you're doing is demonic." And so I sent him a text message, because the last time that I talked to him, which was a year ago, gosh, no, 2 years ago now, almost. You know, it was one of these things. He was not completely aware that I was trans, because it had been a long time since it had been 2 years before that we had talked. And so I was just barely into my transition at that point. And so, but I called him up and I said, you know, your birthday's coming around and I have missed your birthday for the last 2 years. And so, you know, I'd like to see you so that I can do that thing. And so I went to the Total Wine store and I bought the $96 bottle of Macallan's on the 16. And I put it in a bag, because his birthday was like, it was either a week had gone past or it was a week before, but either way. And so I had Kira, you know, drive me up there. Went to the door, knocked on the door. He came out and he looked me in the face, literally looked me in the face and said, "Can I help you?" And I went, "You don't recognize me?" And he said, "No." "Do we know each other?" Person, whatever you are. I don't know what you are. I can't tell. And so I had to dead name myself. So I'll dead name myself for this purpose. So I said, "It's me. It's Bill." And he was like, "Oh God." And so he didn't really say anything more after that. You could kind of tell he wanted to, but here's the thing with Chris, is that Chris is an epileptic. And he drove a car for years and years and years until finally he caused an accident that, one, got him arrested and spent 2 months in jail, and two, permanently revoked his license. So the only way he gets around is Uber, other people's charity, and his bike, and that's it. And on top of that, he's a failure to launch. He never started a career. He never did, he worked like menial jobs, worked in a gas station for a while, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, I sat down and, I was like, how are you doing? He's like, well, and it was a real awkward conversation that sort of like lasted for 15 or 20 minutes. And then I had all I was going to take of him looking at me and staring and all this other shit. And so we got up and left, and we got in the car, and she was like, did you think that went okay? And I'm like, that went about as well as it could have gone.
Yeah.
And so,
Down
so even in that scenario where I knew that I was going to, by the way, this person suffers from, and Miranda, if you don't know about this, I am now going to educate you about this, suffers from Jordanian syndrome. Do you know what Jordanian syndrome is?
Nope.
This is a psychological disorder wherein people, specifically a specific faithful type of person, goes and gets baptized in the Jordan River, and they have a religious experience that fucks them in the head. And they go into a literal psychosis.
It's a special edition of religious psychosis. I love that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. When that happens, and it happens, like it is weird. Like they'll go and get baptized in the Jordan River where Jesus was baptized. They will come out and act completely crazy and go off the deep end.
Wow.
Over getting into some water and then getting out.
Do they drug them ahead of time?
Nope.
Well, when you spend that many $1,000s to go get baptized again, you probably want to have a very special experience doing it. And if you're a little bit easily suggestible, then it's crazy making.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why spend that kind of money just to go take a dip in a foreign river?
Right.
I wonder how it compares to the mega churches that do mass baptisms at water parks. Like, which one really gives you the best spiritual experience?
Doesn't count if all the.
You've been watching too many of the Righteous Gemstones.
I know too many of those churches and people in them.
So I'm just going to tell you, by the way, if you're a church person, if you've ever been a church person, you should totally watch the HBO series, The Righteous Gemstones. There's so much religious triggering in there that you will laugh at, and it will maybe help you heal your trauma. All right. So Sarah, the question is this: what part of collective memory are you uniquely positioned to hold?
Uniquely positioned to hold?
Yeah, I'll let you answer that one, or the one person in your network that you've been meaning to water and you haven't done it yet, but you should. And why is it stopping you?
I don't know that I have an answer for the first one.
That's why I gave you two choices.
And there's a lot of people that I've lost track of over the years that I don't think I could narrow that down to one.
Okay. 2, 3. I'm listening. And what would stop you?
I mean, there's somebody I haven't talked to in probably close to 20 years. But that, while I know that that person is having problems and maybe could benefit from some help, but there was a lot of bad blood there that is preventing me from even trying to find a way to reach out to them.
There's too much bad blood.
Yeah.
How much is too much?
I held as a symbolic burial for this person after high school.
Oh, wow. Dead to me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really fucked up.
Well, we don't want to desecrate any cemetery.
No.
So I'm on the fence about whether that person should even be included or not.
That's clearly. I mean, 20 years. Here's the thing. Let me ask. 20 years. Do you still hold that grudge? And if you do, why are you holding on to it?
It's not so much about holding a grudge because the things that led to further that are a moot point now. And it's more about the fact that the person's just was very toxic at the time, and I don't want to find out if they still are or not. Like, I know having 2 kids and going through deployment and having to be discharged because of an injury, and then now probably being diagnosed with something terminal, can do a lot to change a person.
Oh, yeah.
And then also losing our mutual best friend. But again, I don't know that I want to reach out and find out if anything's actually changed.
I completely understand. All right, Brandon. Collective memory or question number 3, which I haven't asked yet, by the way.
Well, give me the choice. I don't know what the collective. I don't know.
Okay, so what
it
part of collective memory are you uniquely positioned to hold, or where are you already infrastructure and are refusing to see it? Where are you already in a mode to support people and you're completely unaware of it?
Well, I guess if I'm unaware of it, I can't tell you.
He's unaware of it.
I'm not sure how
I need to do more, but I actually already do probably a lot more than I'm conscious of.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I actually, from your perspective, I already know the answer to that question.
Well, I think part of it is my writing. I mean, I'm sure it touches people and evokes emotions in people, and there are certain people that can relate to it that I'm not aware of because they don't always reach out and say it.
I've had,
I don't know,
25 readers of the publication tell me that they were moved by your writing in a queer sense of mind. Because I get you and Miranda are the 2 people whose writing works I get most asked for by other people in the readership. There are more readers that ask for Miranda and your writings than anyone else's. And so, and I've had people say that to me, and then like a week later I get a Substack DM or an email or whatever. I went halfway through their library and I'm a changed individual because of it. And I said, good. So there are certainly people who are affected by the things that you do. whether you may be aware of it or not. And the part of the collective memory that I'm uniquely positioned to hold is the fact that I know this, and I am not making it a memory, but I'm actually telling you.
Well, it's nice to hear. I mean, sometimes it would be nice to know that or to hear that from those people or whatever. But on the other hand, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not looking for like accolades and things like that, but it does help to like keep going, you know, knowing that if I'm doing something that's helping somebody, that because sometimes I might feel like, what's the point of this? Why should I even publish another article?
It's nice to know when you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
Nice to know
right.
you
It
have
does help
value.
propel me forward. You know, I don't need a medal or a cookie for it or anything, but it's just nice motivation, though.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Collective memory, refusal, or the person in your network that you're not feeding that you should.
Collective memory. I don't know. I had good answers to earlier questions, and I think that's all I had. Run out of answers.
There's nobody that you haven't talked to in years that you feel like you should.
Well, I have actually been reaching out to some of those people. And for the most part, it's just been confirmation of why they aren't active participants in my life.
That's a very normal feeling to have. So you've received negative feedback. Well, as Sarah has indicated, that's a fear about reconnecting. And that is a trauma that you have to deal with as a result of that experience. It certainly doesn't make it very easy.
Oh no, not easy, not fun.
Yeah, that does not make for it does not make for a pleasant experience. And I realize that's hard. So I'll give you a break this time, Miranda. I'll give you a break this time, Miranda.
Like permission.
So, all right, there you go, Lisa. Person in your network, collective memory, or doing something and you actually refuse to see it.
Collective memory. Could we further? I mean, is that the memory for everybody that I hold out of my own experience? Or
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, that is exactly what that is.
Wow. I never thought about these questions much, obviously. I think when it comes to the people in my past to reach out to, the ones that I haven't reached out to is more because of boundaries. Immediately my ex stepsister comes to mind.
Your ex stepsister.
Yeah.
Okay. What's stopping you?
Well, she used to beg me to unalive myself. And I realized in adulthood that she never reacts to me. It's always me reaching out to her. So I've kind of given up on it. Because I
Right.
figure she doesn't deserve to take up space in my head. And I don't need to worry about how much she hates me anymore. She doesn't live in the state. I haven't seen her in years. I'm just going to pretend she doesn't exist. I don't have any hope to have that resolved in a good way. You know, so that's about the only person in my past that maybe reconciliation would be something people would prescribe because they're family. But, you know, there's some family that are more dangerous to you than strangers on the street. As far as collective memory, I'm trying to remember everything that's going on, trying to store it, trying to make sure my kids remember, because we've got a lot to clean up once this is over, once we get past Trump. It's not going to be an easy fix.
No, it really, the path forward after the administration leaves. And I want to be very clear about this. I firmly believe that in 3 years, the administration is going to leave, if not before. And so I have nihilistic people in my life who are not that way, and who do not reconcile that belief, because they basically believe we all live on a giant rock that is hurtling in space. And, you know, fuck you, Nietzsche. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, I rather optimistically, cautiously optimistically, I want to even say that.
Be rational about the fact that it has to change.
Yeah. How that changes, what the fuck that's going to look like when it changes, I have no fucking idea. None whatsoever. And there's in all likelihood a strong possibility that it will be a continually profoundly negative experience that could, in theory, resemble the A24 movie Civil War, which, if you've never watched that movie, you should watch that movie. But the problem with that is that you then realize that that could actually happen under the current situation. So, well, that's actually a very good answer to the question, Lisa. Thank you. Now we're going to pick on Brandon again. So, you want to talk about my weird, freaky cookie kitchen-y shit for the day? Yeah.
What is it?
So this is the 5-ingredient. You have nothing in the house but staples. Feed yourself scenario. And I've actually used this before. Haven't done it in a while, but so I want your opinion about this.
Is it the beans
Yeah,
again?
canned white beans, olive oil, garlic, lemon, salt, pepper, and you mash up half of it and you leave the other half of it soupy, and then you dip toast in it that's got butter on it, and there you go.
Yum.
Little lightweight garlic and lemon, that makes up for it, right?
Does it?
Does it really?
Why doesn't it?
That's a lot of beans.
Yeah. Kind of like a twist on a refried bean in a way, I guess, with the mashing it up and everything.
Well, yeah, the
White
whole purpose
bean.
is to like have slightly the. Although I will say that I posted this in our discussion secure signal discussion channel the other day. She made brilliantly tasting cuppy meatloaf. So meatloaf that was cooked in a muffin tin.
Oh.
And it was,
I like meatloaf.
oh my God, it was this fabulously tasting whiskey based barbecue sauce that was over the top of it. And then served with roasted asparagus, like
Ooh.
olive oil roasted asparagus. But her meatloaf recipe is literally not the stock meatloaf recipe. And so now I want to watch her cook it so that I can cook it, because she literally got done with it in like all of 30 minutes. All of 30 minutes.
I'll take that over the beans.
So the beans, all right. So then then the growing thing, which means Sarah's going to have comments. So correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but February is planning for your garden month.
Mhm.
Like you're planning everything's going to go in the garden in February. That's
Your
right,
tomato
right?
seeds and stuff.
If I was planning a garden for this year, yes. I probably would have started last month, but yeah. I'd probably be starting my seeds either this month or next month.
So then I found this fact: 1 5-gallon bucket of cherry tomatoes will produce more seeds than you can eat from June to the following frost.
You're talking about like an actual 5-gallon bucket full, or a 5-gallon bucket that you use to grow one plant?
No, if I would like a 5-gallon bucket where you grow multiple plants.
I mean, you could, in theory, plant every single seed from those tomatoes,
Right.
and that would result in a lot of plants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's,
They start
yeah.
choking each other out if there were too many of them.
Yeah. Oh, and then blood oranges. Go buy blood oranges, because blood oranges are a winter thing. Which my suggestion.
I love blood oranges.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do you like arugula?
Yeah.
See, I can't eat it. Arugula is the most nasty. Arugula is the most nasty green ever. I do not understand how people can eat it.
I'm not a fan of iceberg
Worse than
lettuce.
kale?
honestly.
I usually use a fork. That's how I do it.
You use a
Use it for kale? In place of kale, you mean?
Oh no, I take kale over arugula any day of the week. Wilted kale in a flat pan with a little bit of bacon and just a hint of olive oil. Holy shit! Oh fuck yeah!
Or you can make kale chips with olive oil and salt and put it in the oven.
Yeah, but kale chips taste nasty. I mean, I'd rather eat kelp or seaweed yields over eating kale chips. I don't understand. So you like those? I mean, you can eat those?
I have not tried kale chips. I've had seaweed stuff though, so I figured if
Oh,
I'll eat
I've had
seaweed,
kale chips.
I mean, I'd rather, I don't know, eat plain rice cakes.
I like Chinese dried olives too.
Chinese dried olives? That's a thing?
Yep,
Oh, I haven't tried those.
I haven't either.
they're kind of salty and a little sweet. My friend used to bring them along for road trips.
Sorry, Brandon. I know you don't like olives.
because she's
I don't
she's
like olives.
she's Chinese. That's why I got introduced to them.
Yeah, well, see, Brandon, you're not alone. Kira can't stand olives. She is extremely olive averse. And while I'm not a huge fan of green olives, I think black olives are tasty.
Neither one. Nope.
I like
So,
both,
but here's the
green and
question.
black.
But you can
What?
eat, but you have no problem consuming olive oil.
Olive oil? Yeah, that's fine. Completely different.
Yeah. There's a completely different taste profile there. So I get that. So yeah, so Chinese dried olives
Mm-hmm.
are a white olive and part of East Asian delicacy.
Yeah. They're pretty
Which
tasty.
I did not realize.
Well, what can I say? I had a crush on a Chinese woman.
You have or you had?
Had. I know it's never going to get matched, so it's just kind of one of those things.
Okay. Who do you have a crush on now? Wait. It's been a few days, Brendan. Have you met the guy yet?
No.
The way he says it. No.
Something, I don't know. Something always happens.
Brandon, I have dreams about you meeting this guy.
Aw.
I don't know.
I really do. I mean, that or I just want to set you up with a guy that'll marry you and you'll be okay. But
Aw.
I'm serious. If you
Yeah,
come to
well,
Atlanta for a
yeah.
day, I literally will take you to Mary's one night, and that'll be it.
That'll be it.
That'll be it. One night at Mary's in East
I don't
Atlanta.
know.
Game over.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I believe that.
So gay guys have U-Hauls too? Is that what I'm hearing?
Do what?
They have what?
U-Hauls.
Oh,
Gonna get married
That
in one
joke
day.
is
That sounds
so
very
bad.
U-Haul-like to me.
That joke is one. That joke is, gosh, that joke might be older than me. If it's not older than me, it's just barely
Younger.
older than me. Not much, but
well, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's him, but there's always something that's we're still working on.
okay. So Brandon, honey, listen to Mama. Just gonna tell you this, okay? Make a committed plan.
Well, I thought that was happening this past weekend, and it didn't. See, he's more, according to him, he's more like he's kind of spontaneous, more impromptu. I am not. I'm more of a planner, and so it sounds like we're gonna get along great. But I mean, I like to be. I'm flexible sometimes. I don't mind some last minute stuff, but usually I like to know things ahead of time.
I'm sorry, honey, but you're gonna have to just. I feel like you're gonna have to be spontaneous.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, I will literally tell you, Brandon, you are literally on the verge of having the mystery guy appear in a subtext of the Queer Space story. At night.
All right. Well, I'll plan my spontaneity for next weekend. How's that?
I love it.
Plans.
Plan spontaneity. Here we go.
Going back to the whole infrastructure thing. I'm holding it for you because I want you to. Your happiness is important to me, and I don't know about the others, but I'm actually emotionally invested in you meeting this person.
Oh, well, we'll see. I'm trying not to be too optimistic or too hopeful about it, but I'm open to it, so I'm not pessimistic about it either.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't hype it up too much.
Yeah, I like.
Right.
Yeah, like if it goes too
Disappointed.
high, then you meet and you're disappointed. But that's the thing, though. You've been talking to this person now for long enough a time that
I know.
Eileen says Wendy in the fantasy romance genre. I will never be a romance writer. Um, I lack the inability to describe sexual activities between heterosexual people in a bizarrely perverse way. So that means that my ability to be a romance novelist is unlikely. I've read a Harlequin romance novel. I'll never do it again, but those things are about damn near pornographic.
They
I've read
used to not
Penthouse.
be.
I'll say this: I've read Penthouse letters that are less pornographic than a Harlequin romance novel.
That's so amazing because when my grandmother used to buy them when I was a little girl, they didn't even take a bra off in those things. I mean, there was no sex. My grandmother wouldn't have read them if there was because she was, one of those. But there were back then Harlequin romances were tame.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
They didn't even insinuate there was sex until they got married, and it was always the prince or the duke or some other crazy rich guy rescuing some poor girl from a backward life, and just at least
Well,
they were fascinating.
Fabio wrote one, right?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh dear.
because he was on the front cover of virtually every Harlequin romance novel,
Yeah,
and so he.
with that gorgeous hair.
Give me just a second. Well, I want to thank everybody for the usual 1 p.m. With that, I'll close. Where I tell all of you, by the way, your lopsided growth is sacred, even holy. Not in that way, but every movement forward, no matter how diminutive or minute, is revolution. And your single existence in life is masonry and a wall. And so that means that none of you, myself included, are the root cracking the concrete. We're breaking the concrete. We're not a general annoyance, and we're not a distraction. And so, we end up being the archive they can't control, alt, delete away.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, with that, I have to say, as much to myself as everyone else watching the show, go be asymmetrical and stubborn and still here in an irritation. Do it safely. Do it not in front of people that are going to take your life, because that shouldn't happen, but be stubborn and be present. And hopefully that'll be enough and we'll all get through it. I know I'm trying.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Thursday if I can, Friday if not, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, Lisa, Miranda, Sarah, thank you all very much. Did the transphobes disappear from the chat? I guess so.
I blocked the one. I couldn't see him in the chat, but I blocked him on the restream.
Okay. Well, I gave Onyx, Eileen, and Sarah, you have moderation. So the three of you have the right to boot whoever the hell you want off.
Cool.
So, all right, well, cool. Well, everybody go about your day. I'm going to finish the remainder of my chili and keep on keeping on.
Bye-bye.